ごめん。起こしちゃった？
The anime starts off with a boy named Yuuki who gets teleported to another world and comes across an elf-like goddess named Lady Ameth that needed some time to cure herself, so she throws Yuuki down to this world to run some errands for her. "I'm too busy binge-watching Netflix, so could you please handle this for me?" she said. Okay, maybe that's not exactly what she said, but you get the idea. Meanwhile, another elf named Kokkoro was on her way to meet Yuuki, who has just fallen from the sky. However, after arriving, let's just say he was off to a good start. Kokkoro tells him that she was sent by Lady Ameth to act as his guide, since he has no memories of his past life. As they were eating, the wolves decided to come back, and let's just say Yuuki and wolves don't get along in this anime. After Yuuki fainted, an orange-haired girl named Pecorine had her sword stolen by two thieves, but somehow she thought the thieves were just taking care of her sword, and went after them to give them their medicine that they requested. Talk about a trusting soul. Back to Yuuki and Kokkoro, they decided to go into town, where they met a lovely lady running a crepe shop. However, after finding out they have no money, a man suggested they start a guild, which would provide them with a place to live. They decided to sleep outside for the night, and wolves. Pecorine, a guild association member, suggested they went to collect some mushrooms, and Yuuki stumbled upon Pecorine, the same girl who has been robbed by bandits. Seeing that Pecorine looked weak and famished, Yuuki and Kokkoro whipped her up some food. As they enjoyed their scrumptious seaweed rice and grilled mushrooms, a group of mushroom monsters suddenly attacked them. Without skipping a beat, the trio sprang into action and engaged in a battle against mushroom monsters. Yuuki swung his sword, unleashing a hidden power that can enhance the strength of his friends. But let's not forget that the mushrooms are no ordinary fungi. They were huge and angry. Kokkoro tried to reason with them, but the mushrooms were not in the mood for negotiation. Pecorine, on the other hand, took a more direct approach and started biting chunks out of them, like they were hors d'oeuvres. Yuuki and Kokkoro decided to visit a restaurant for a bite. To their surprise, they stumbled across Pecorine in an eating contest. Pecorine saw the two bandits who stole her sword in the crowd and tried to give them their medicine that they needed. But they run into a giant pig monster. Thankfully, Pecorine has some serious energy, and with a single blow, she sends the monster flying. Unfortunately, the poor half-cat girl named Kirill happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time and got knocked out by the flying pig. Feeling guilty, Pecorine apologizes profusely and offers Kirill some food. However, the food was still piping hot, and Kirill gets angry and storms off in a huff. While Kirill is in the tree plotting how to get rid of Pecorine, she spots the two bandits carrying a crystal sword, being chased by a fierce black dragon. Realizing that it's Pecorine's stolen sword, and Kirill gets an idea. With Kirill's help, the group navigates their way to the valley where the dragon is nesting. Yuuki attempts to distract the dragon, but let's just say things don't go exactly as planned. Meanwhile, Kirill was secretly controlling the dragon with her magic book to make it rampage, as it turns out that she had a hidden agenda all along, to attack Pecorine because her real mission was to eliminate her. However, she loses control of the dragon very quickly. After an intense moment, Pecorine and Yuuki finally manage to retrieve the sword from the dragon's belly, and Pecorine regains her full power. With the mighty crystal sword in hand, she slices through the dragon with ease, and they find a massive treasure trove of gold. The two bandits are grateful for being saved and thanks Pecorine. Inspired by their adventure, Pecorine decides to start a guild with Yuuki and Kokkoro as members, as Carol refuses to join. Pecorine strolled down the streets of Landasol, munching on delicious treats. Meanwhile, Yuuki sees a weakened girl. Assuming she was hungry, he gives her a rice ball. But let's just say that's probably the worst mistake he could have made. But we'll get to that later. Anyway, they meet up at the restaurant, but unfortunately find out that they have no food left other than bugs. After resisting to eat them, they somehow tasted good? Kokkoro offers Carol to join their guild, but she rejects until her master tells her that the mission to eliminate Pecorine is on hold, and may do as she pleases for right now. Meanwhile, some fat dude busts into the restaurant, folding everyone until he gets some food. I don't know how he expected to get it if he broke the cook's arm, but okay. Thankfully, Pecorine offers to make him food, and he accedes to heaven.
あんたたちだけじゃ頼りないから、私も入ってあげる。感謝。
They decided to name their guild the Gourmet Guild, and were thrilled to finally secure a house. But when they arrived, their excitement quickly turned to disappointment. The palace had been abandoned for years and needed serious cleaning. The group rolled up their sleeves and got to work, determined to turn the rundown shack into a sparkling guild house. Kokkoro went to get more supplies while the rest of them got started. But upon starting, Carol got startled, causing Yuuki to get knocked out. He sees the goddess who sent him and tells him to be careful of the enemy. Yuuki wakes up and they succeed to make the guild house a cozy and welcoming place, and well, maybe a little problem. After settling into their newly cleaned guild house, Yuuki falls ill with a terrible cold. With no other choice, the group decides to take Yuuki to a nearby clinic. To their surprise, all the staff over there was dressed up as magicians. Yuuki was probably thinking he was in for some magical treatment, and oh, he got some special treatment, all right. Patients were trying to escape faster than a magician trying to escape from a straitjacket. And remember when I said that was probably the worst mistake he could have done? Yeah, the demon girl who had previously been helping Yuuki. She was working as a nurse at the hospital and had an obsession over Yuuki. And let's just say that Yuuki will forever be traumatized from this moment. The next day, Yuki's friends got worried and rushed back after finding out that wasn't a regular hospital. When arriving, they basically witnessed a complete massacre. In all honesty, this fight wasn't even fair at this point. They decided to save Yuuki, and when looking through the door, the girl attempts to make him wear an eternal ring, but thankfully Kokkoro is good at making weird things, and managed to get Yuuki out. But sadly, Carol was the sacrifice, and all we can say is, she will be remembered. After Yuuki and Carol recovered from his hospital ordeal, they were ready for an adventure. They set out on their first mission together. They traveled through forests and across rivers, and eventually decided to rest near a riverbank. As for dinner, well, yeah. The next morning, on a bright, peaceful day, Yuuki was somehow kidnapped by a giant dog monster? But just when things seemed hopeless, a shy girl who talks to herself named Ali appeared and saved Yuuki. Pecorine is elated that the Gourmet Guild is finally launching its official guild activity, but they arrive at their destination, Targum Village, to discover a strange phenomenon is occurring there. Villagers are going missing due to mysterious beings called shadows appearing in the area. There was an adventurer group consisting of 3 girls named Shiori, Mahiru, and Ayane. They were on their way to a quest when suddenly a mysterious shadow appeared. The shadow had the ability to imitate their every move and was even as strong as them. The girls were having a hard time defeating the shadow monster, and Shiori, who couldn't hold on anymore, was eventually swallowed by the monster. Well, that's one way to lose weight quickly. Being controlled, she attacked one of her comrades in an overwhelming defeat. Pecorine decided to go look for Carol, who was feeling down due to her knowing the danger that the shadows can cause. After cheering her up a bit, Pecorine goes to fight the shadows that are attacking the village. Due to her mission to eliminate Pecorine, she is unsure whether or not she should assist her. Nonetheless, she chooses to do so and wipe the shadows. Meanwhile, Yuuki and the others have come across Christina, aka Carol's secret partner, and engage in an intense fight. They attacked her with all their combined strength, but it was like throwing a pebble at a mountain. However, Yuki's power awakened and she was able to increase his friend's magic abilities, but even with their combined powers, they were still not enough to defeat Christina. Luckily, she took an interest in one of them and decided to retreat for the day. After finishing the battle, Carol is summoned by her master and receives a new mission to spy on Yuki along with Pecorine. After agreeing, Yuki and friends come across 3 girls who wanted to experience an adventure. They agreed and made a map that was safe for them to explore. But since Yuki was the leader, they ended up going the wrong way. The rest of them tried to secretly tell Yuki, but somehow he got the message to go further deep in. Pecorine decided to try and scare them off, and well, let's just say she got defeated. Yukki and Kokkoro decided to take out the monsters in the path secretly, and just when they were finished, Yuki is somehow kidnapped by a big bird? The girls come to save Yuki, but they met the same fate as Yuki. Pecorine eventually comes and saves them, but of course not before finding some food. After enjoying their vacation, sorta, Yuki and Kokkoro went into the restaurant and where they met a fortune-teller girl named Shinobu and a pudding ghost, who takes them to their headquarters where they end up getting tangled in a vampire named Ilya. Due to her losing the fight with the gods, she was sealed away. However, without knowing, Yuki powers activate and transforms her into her original form, releasing powerful magic. But it was only temporary. Yuki attempts to leave, however. He accidentally spilled the ghost pudding and, well, as a result, he turned everyone into pudding to eat them. And yes, even Carol, who didn't even deserve this. But Pecorine saves them by making pudding that benefits the ghost taste. The next morning, Caril was trying to sleep in when Pecorine breaks through the window, thinking something has happened, to only find out she was okay. But her plushie, on the other hand, wasn't. They decide to go into the city to find some thread for her plushie. As Yuki began looking, he is targeted by a shadow and a girl comes to rescue him, claiming herself as his sister, but forgot he lost his memories. As another girl comes to drag her away and probably receives the biggest headbutt in anime history. Yuki decided to grab some food, and while eating, let's just say, he's seen his own nightmare in town that day and took his leave. When getting home, Pecorine tells them about a monster blocking the city's trade routes. They decided to make it their next mission, but with Carol being the bait. After hitting it with a princess strike attack, they make their way and come across Yuki's sisters, where they offer them free food. And let's just say they forgot Pecorine was there. Yuki went to sleep that night and got flashbacks of his party defeated in battle, but can't remember how it happened. The next day, the town was attacked by a giant shadow monster, and Pecorine went to protect them. But the monster suddenly aimed at Caril, and Pecorine jumped in front of her, ready to sacrifice herself. Pecorine mustered up her remaining strength and uses it for a last attack. Or so we thought. The monster regenerates itself and Yuki attempts to use his power, but the memories of his past prevents it. They were teleported into another dimension by Yuki's former party member. Where Kokkoro finds out Pecorine's true identity of being the lost princess of the kingdom and learns of Harsh's past, it's revealed that nobody in the kingdom remembers who she was, including her mother and father, and was banished from the kingdom. As this was done, and Carol's partner tries to hint that, in a nation of humans, why is a beast sitting on the throne? To the adventurers wondering where Yuki's party along with the monster went. Carol goes to fight the monster alone, doubting her decisions to aid her master in battle. Pecorine comes and so does Yuki, attacking from above and awakening his power, letting the party to collaborate and attack together and wipe out the monster with a powerful blow. After finishing the monster, they are returned back to their world. But who knows, something tells me their journey are just beginning. So is ours. Make sure you subscribe and let us know what you think. We're out.
見つけた